Let's get to the money.
Let's get to the
Money.
Let's get to the
Money. Let's get to the motherfucking money.
Fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, 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 fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. Middle finger in the air screaming fuck the bookies. Woke up in the morning, grab my little black book. Yesterday can eat a dick, cause we lost by the hook. Can't win them all, so you never see me get shook. Today's a new day, the bookmaker's getting cooked. When I spot a dirty K, the 4 units getting paid. Always find the value, I would never be afraid. Scared money don't win, but I'm not going all in unless I see a bet I love, then I put my balls on a bookie's chin. Let it all soak in, doubling my bread, winning money with my friends. If you got the itch and you wanna go big, follow Sharpie bets and you gon' really fucking win. This is not financial advice, it's entertainment. But if I find the right price, believe I'm parlaying it. You can see my spreadsheet, I'm winning, not just saying it. Profit in the green every week, I'm never negative. I can bet an ace or a shitty all picture. Pick the right spots cause I'm the K-pop whisperer. Shut up when I speak until you finally get the picture. I'm the best in the world, tell me you getting richer. Fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, 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 fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. Middle finger in the air screaming fuck the bookies.
Let's get to the motherfucking monies.
And here we go.
Welcome to another edition of The Balking Dead, where there is no sleep for the wicked. It is Monday, a new week with a new start. As if we not had a losing week on this show in the month of June, and I'd actually like to keep it that way. With it being Monday, we're going to talk 3 pitchers, then talk us some hitting props as LJ had work pop up. But have no fear, Ribeyes with Mike is here, as Mike was able to make some time to talk some RBIs on this Monday slate. So let's get to the money. On this show, guys, you know we are sponsored by PrizePicks. If you haven't, go on over there and use that promo code PUBSPORTS on your first deposit. They will match you up to 100, minimum of 25. And we do have another sponsor, guys, W, guys. It's a clean energy powder. No come down to your day. Simply by scanning the QR code on screen, you will get 10% off your order by using the best promo code on earth. Pub Sports, that is. Shout out to the chat. Appreciate you all for coming. Shout out to the best producer in the world, Big Show Picks. You guys know the drill. Hit that like button if you already have it, and make sure you have them notification bells on. On this show, guys, we're going to talk about the first line that pops up on these guys, the closing line available, and then we're going to get into what PrizePicks has to offer. First guy on the board, number 17 in the book, Justin Verlander. This year has a 20.5 strikeout percentage with a 6 walk percentage. Opening line was 7+ at plus 120 on FanDuel, where PrizePicks has him at a 6.5. Hits allowed under over are at a flat 5. Projected lineup, 7 righties, 2 lefties, whereas K per 9 this year has not been what he's used to. 7.9 at home with a 7.3 on the road, 7.2 versus the left-handed side, and a 7.9 K per 9 versus the right-handed side. This game may not go today, as it is projected rain showers are at over 50%, but it has already came down to the 35. So they may go, but I do expect them, if they play, they're going to play. So we've got a theme popping up on today's episode of The Balking Dead. Pretty much each write-up has a similar theme to the day, and that is representation by taxation. And what I mean by that is these guys all have some mass juice added onto them, or 1 to 2 strikeouts added on. And we know Sharpie 316 Rule 34, I do not chase women or K-props. So let's get into this freaking shady-ass slate of the day. And we start off with a Brewers tax on Justin Verlander as they opened him up at a 6.5. And I know he's only played 9 games this year, but he's only hit the over 6.5 at a 22%. Let alone a fucking 5.5 where he's only hit that at a 33% of the time. So let's talk these Brewers numbers. They're walking league average, bottom 3 in batting average and OPS, well, 22nd in isolated power. They ain't hitting for the like of them. Well, they're also striking out at a 28.5% clip, and this is why we get taxed. I get a 5.5 juice, but a fucking 6.5, nah. Sharpie don't play that. I don't care how great of a spot this is. Now, when we look at who Verlander has seen this year, he has seen some really tough matchups, guys, if you're looking at his strikeouts, as he played a game in Colorado, a game versus the Astros, Blue Jays, and Guardians, who are all on my no-fly zones versus right-handed pitchers. And he got baptized by versus a Braves team who was smashing the ball. When he's faced the weaker teams in the league, he has done the damn thing. He's gone 7 innings or more in 3 games versus teams that just ain't hitting at the time. And that's what we get today. I don't chase K props, guys, and I don't chase women, guys. So I think JV goes out and has himself a fucking day. And I'm going to put a half unit on his outs over 18.5 at plus 115. And once lineups do come out, I will look to pull him down to that 6+ and alt him to Strider, as I will not bet this man at 6.5 because I will not ever do what the books want me to do. And right here, they want you to bet this under. They put him up at a spot to where they know that they've got action at least on this man today. And I don't fucking do that shit at the end of the day. So I will take his outs. I think this man is out there 7 innings or more. As like I said, he's had 3 games versus the weaker teams in baseball, guys. And he's went out there and shoved versus teams that's not hitting. And that's exactly what we get with these Milwaukee Brewers. Now let's talk about the GOAT on the day's card. Now, I mean, Verlander would have been the GOAT maybe a couple years ago, but we're talking Spencer Strider at home versus the Twins. Number 8 in the black book this year. He's got an elite 39% strikeout percentage with a nice 8.6 walk percentage. Open him up on FanDuel, 10+ at a -112. And PrizePicks as well has him as a 9.5, whereas hits allowed under over are at a 4.5 on PrizePicks. Projected lineup today is 5 righties, 4 lefties, whereas K per 9 this season is an elite 16K per 9 at home, an elite 13.2 at home, and the average is the same versus the left and right-handed side, and elite 14.5 strikeouts per 9 innings. Now we get Spencer Strider, guys, in a matchup from the baseball gods. When we look at these Twins numbers over the past 15 days, they're walking below league average while striking out at a 27.5% clip. Now, they are hitting the ball as their 13th in team batting average, 8th in OPS and isolated power. But to boot with Strider, guys, we got Strider at home, where since he's been in the league, guys, granted it's a year and a half, his K per 9 at home has been over 2.5 more at home than on the road, where he's still been elite. I mean, this is like the DeGrom factor, guys. Your home crowd goes apeshit when you get 2 strikes, and you just go for it, guys. The electricity the home crowd gives this man is probably only comparable to Thor himself. The books know this and bumped him up to a 9.5, and I get it. It's the Twins, and if you need anything else, guys, they're the worst team in the league in missing pitches inside the zone, a la whiff percentage. And when Strider gets strike one, he has a strikeout percentage of over 45% on the year. And last week, we finally seen what we wanted to see from this man. Attack these motherfuckers. Use your fastball. It's good enough to get you 0-2. You don't always have to try to break them in half, man. They couldn't get to your first 2 times. Why deviate all the time, man? And last week, he went through the most fastballs he's ever thrown in a game. And I expect this guy to keep on par with that, guys. He just doesn't need to waste pitches. You're too good for that, my guy. Pound the zone. So I don't chase numbers, guys, at the end of the day. This should be an 8.5 if we go off his averages, but his win percentage and adding on 50 cents of juice is where we get a 9.5. So it's over, or nothing, guys. And I'm going to do what I do. And I altered him down to the 9+ where I believe that he should be at. And I'm going to alt him to anybody else that I feel like alting him to today, guys, as I hooked him up to Detmers at 5+ and Strider 9+ for a half unit at -114. I cannot get on board with them jumping them up, guys, as there is volatility in some of these hitting numbers. And when Strider has been hit, guys, there has been more times than not they don't let him come back out for that last inning. And he's ended up hooking me a few times. So I get it. Good pitching beats good hitting, and this man is a monster, guys. I just have to listen to the rules that I have set for myself when it comes to gambling. Andrew Heaney versus the Tigers is the next guy up, guys. Number 27 in the black book this year has a 24.6 strikeout percentage with a 10% walk percent. Opened him up on DraftKings, had the best line at is over 6.5 at even money, and PrizePicks has him at a flat 6, whereas pitching outs under over are at a 16.5. Projected lineup for your LT Grays is 6 righties. No, it's 6 righties, 3 lefties. I wrote that backwards. Sorry, guys. Sharpie can be dumb sometimes. Home, where he's at today, he has a 10.2K per 9. And on the road, he has an 8.7. Lefties, he has an elite 11.7K per 9. Well, righties, he's averaging a strikeout per inning. As we continue the day with the same theme, guys, let's tax the fuck out of these pitchers. Well, I get the Verlander and Strider tax, though, guys. They've got good matchups by the numbers. I may not agree with it, but at the end of the day, I get it. I sure as fuck don't get this. We get a 6.5 on Andrew Heaney, guys. Like, is he Heaney from last year all of a sudden? And maybe the book seen something last week to warrant that he is Heaney from last year, guys. But everything else does not warrant a 6.5 in this spot, as he's only hit this over 20% in his last 10 games and doesn't even have a winning percentage to the over fucking 5.5, let alone we get a 6.5. So when we look at these Tigers numbers, there isn't really much to go off of, as they only have 140 plate appearances versus lefties in a 30-day span. And those numbers actually say run for the motherfucking hills on a K-prop, guys. They're the best team at walking at a stupid 12.5%. They're striking out at I had to look at this 10 times, a 15.6%. None. Bottom 5 in batting average, 17th in OPS. Well, they're actually 5th in isolated power. So the numbers actually say hell fucking no. But we know on this show, guys, numbers are like lawyers, guys. And if you listened to the numbers yesterday, you didn't cash Morton, Wheeler, or Hunter Brown with Team Sharpie, as all the numbers said no. And the fact that the numbers scream no, guys, and the books want you to bet this under makes me believe this guy's going to have a fucking day today. Now, this one right here is easy and keeps me off of it, guys, even though I believe the book's begging you to bet this under, and this dude goes and have a day. My rule number 52, guys. If my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle. I don't bet ifs, guys. And it's never going to get me to where I need to be, guys. And I'm not here to fight with the books, guys. I'm here to bet people's averages. And when they go out and they jump this man up 2 fucking strikeouts in a spot that says, hell no. Well, Sharpie gonna say, hell no, right back at you, because I don't know. Something telling me Andrew Heaney is going to have a day from the gods. And yeah, it says danger, danger, danger. And Sharpie don't fucking give kids doesn't give candy to kids, and he don't bet fucking red flags, guys. And this to me is a red flag. We've covered the first 3 pitchers on our slate today, guys, and we're going to hit a really quick segment and come back with a special Monday edition of Ribeyes with Mike.
I didn't want salmon! I said it 4 times! Wedding is horseshit.
We're back, guys, on this Monday edition of the best MLB prop show on God's green earth. I'm here with the best guy to ever do this RBI shit. As 2 weeks in a row, his best bet has cast for Team Balking Dead. No salmon for this guy. How you doing, Mike?
Hey, Sharpie, I've never been better, man. Happy Monday to you. Shout out to the chat, Pub Sports Radio, and the best guy in the K-prop business, man. So let's roll these sleeves up. Let's dig in, and let's figure out how we're going to eat these ribeyes.
Hey, before we get into that, I know we were talking earlier, but what's your records on your best bet of your RBI since you started tracking it, I believe, May 26th?
Yeah, so on Jimmy's show there with the Tuesday through Friday spots there, I started tracking it on May 26th, and I started rolling out. I've got a 9-4 record, but it's up 11.5 units. So
that's what happens when you bet plus money.
Yeah, the ROIs on these things are 65, 75, 145% spots. So you know what? It's unique, it's different, and it's an opportunity to just, keep us in the game, keep us moving forward. It's great spots for same-game parlays, great spots for just a single standalone play if you're not sure about the side of the game. So it's a lot of fun. It's fantasy, but getting paid versus the bookies. So
you're doing good enough that I'm gonna make me a motherfucking ticket with all your shit, all my shit that I bet that day. Put a little $10 lotto ticket in, and I'm gonna fuck them right in the eye hole, guys. So, as Mondays are often than not, guys, it's moving day in the MLB. We end up with a smaller type of slate, but a big enough slate to attack. First game on your list today happens to be a game I lean the over on, and that's the Reds and the Orioles in the battle of lefties. Who you looking to pick on in this spot?
Yeah, so this is a game of who's in terms of should being able to put some runs on the board here. The Reds have been banging the ball around. The Reds from their perspective against that Braves series, lots of one-run games out there. We're not going to worry about the side and who's going to get it done. And I bet you the majority of the population out there is on Elly De La Cruz, and they should be. I mean, the guy's killing it. He's knocking the cover off the ball. In this situation with Ballpark Pal, at plus 43% home run likelihood, plus 23% increase in runs. I'm not going to go to Elly, though. I like him. I like his numbers, but plus 125 is just not where I want to play. I'm going to go to Johnny India, one of my favorites. He's a plus 155 opportunity for the RBI. Here's the thing about Johnny India. When he goes out there against left-handed hitters, his on-base percentage actually goes up to a 318. So he's clearly got the confidence against lefties. Here's a game that I expect there to be runs flying around. There's questionable rain in the weather right now, so that could very well lead to a cancellation. But what we see a lot of times is in those rain games, it does tend to seem to lean to the over. And Jonathan India has got 3 home runs in his last 4 games as well. So you guys know the deal. As goes the home run, so goes the RBI. So I want to start out with Johnny India, plus 155, Cincinnati Reds. I think that's going to be a good spot for us to cash tonight.
And to touch on that real quick, De La Cruz versus the lefty probably ain't the play, realistically.
Right.
You need to go look at that dude's minor leagues numbers and actually look what he's done in the major leagues, guys. This dude's striking out at over a 50% clip to lefties, and they are moving him out of that 4-hole when he has faced lefties the last few times. And that's just smart, bro. If he struggles, put him farther down in the lineup. But Jonathan India, to boot, had his first day off in over a year yesterday, bro. Over a fucking year. Iron Man, bro. Nobody does that nowadays, bro. Guy's gonna come in fresh, got to relax. I like Jonathan India a lot today after I was watching that game. But yeah. Let's get into that next game on your card, guys. And I already spoke on it a little bit already, guys. And this is the Twins at the Braves, where we got a matchup between Sonny Gray and Spencer Strider. How you looking to get paid in the South today?
So here's the thing about this game here with Austin Riley's my guy that I'm looking at here. He's a plus 142 right now out there, and he's sitting in a great spot in the lineup. A couple of counter or under the cover type of numbers that I like to look at out here. Let's talk about Sonny Gray for a minute, because there's a lot of talk about him and his 1.0 and his 3.0 ERA and his recent performances here. But bottom line is he's in a situation where he's only striking out 11% of right-handed hitters, which is 4th worst in Major League Baseball at the current moment. Lefties are getting ground balls at 56% clip. That's 4th highest in Major League Baseball right now. And I'm going to talk about this guy, Ronnie Acuna Jr. 10% strikeout opportunity over his last 30 days. That's 8th lowest in Major League Baseball. Why am I talking about Acuna when I'm talking about playing Austin Riley? Because Austin Riley's hitting 3rd in the lineup. And so what you need to have happen here is 2 things happen. One, we need guys to get on base to be able to drive those runs in. They don't have to be home runs all the time, but we want guys on base. So I'm looking at Acuna being able to get on base. And then he's got Olsen coming in the 2-hole. So now we got a guy that's banging the cover off the ball as well. He's hitting very consistently. And I think that goes across the board for all of the Atlanta Braves players. So in this position here, I like Austin Riley hitting in that 3rd spot. He's got hits in 4 of his last 5 games. He's got Acuna and Olsen in front of him. Olsen, as a lefty, has been out there stomping on a Sonny Gray that's potentially suspect against lefties as well. Sonny Gray in his last 30 days is only at a 15% strikeout percentage. That's 12th lowest in Major League Baseball. That just tells me that they're not striking out on the plate. They're not striking out looking. There's a lot of contact on balls, and we need those guys on base so that when our guy comes in there, Austin Riley at plus 142, we can go out there and clean that up.
Definitely love me Austin Riley. And Sonny Gray may be the worst starting pitcher versus a left-handed strikeout-wise, I'm talking. Not saying like, oh, the dude doesn't strike out lefties for fucking nothing, bro. And it's gone back more than just this year. I think he has like a career 7K per 9 versus the left-handed side. And when I'm looking at his numbers this year, like even lefties they're all pretty much average on base percentage, or pretty much near the same. But lefties are slugging this dude fucking 85 points higher. And Sonny Gray hasn't been Sonny Gray, guys. I bet that fucking cuck last time out, and that dude shit the bed versus the Tigers in what was a really good spot. So this doesn't add up for a good spot. I know somebody who knows somebody who bets K-prop unders out there who's actually on Sonny Gray's under today. So that actually leans into some hitting props. So definitely, I think Sonny Gray's a fade today. And I wouldn't be surprised if you were going to give me some fucking Twins players, bro, because I have this weird feeling that Spencer Strider may get touched today, bro. Yeah. I know I'm crazy. I'm stupid, whatever, bro. I mean, he'd go out and have the game of his life. But, man, I have a feeling he'd give up 3 runs today, man. And that's still having a good game. But I just don't think he's going to be perfect today. I mean,
you guys know I like to look at some of these. I like to look at some of these trends as well, and I see that Spencer Strider, particularly and specifically, is in an 11-6 over spot in this situation tonight. So, for that guy to be on the over trend and have the trend in his direction shows that he is giving up runs. He is vulnerable, and I love when we get on alignment here, dude. Because when you're on the same side as me, or at least as a relation to we think the game flow and game theory is going to script out, that's an opportunity for us to put that money in our pocket, brother.
Yeah, bro. I took your advice when you said that shit about the Royals when I told you go fuck off. It's McClanahan, and as soon as McClanahan got hurt and I lost my K-prop money, I put my whole account on that plus 275 Royals that day. I says they're in a 3 and 4 spot, motherfuckers. What? I was so bad.
Surprised it came through, right? I mean, come on, it's like a 10-year trend, and it doesn't happen that often. But when you see it, man, you got to take advantage. Some of these numbers that you show themselves once in a blue moon have to be bet-ons, even if it's just a little shot at it to try to get some plus money. I mean, 3-1 your money back is where we want to be.
I was more upset they pulled McClanahan out, so I was like, you guys got to give me my K-prop money back ASAP. So, your last game on the board is another game I actually spoke on already as well, and that's the Tigers at the Rangers, where the pitching matchup is another battle of lefties with Matthew Boyd facing off versus Andrew Heaney. How you looking to get in here?
Yeah, so here's a situation where I kind of use a trend in game flow that to script out where I think this thing is going to go here, and I still don't think the books are right with this RBI spot. So when the Rangers win the first 5 in the previous game, when they win it outright in the first 5, the next game's gone over, and it's currently on a 9-2 spot right now. I'm sorry, 9-3 spot to the over. So not only that, but the Rangers are winning too. They're coming back those next games. They're in a 12-2 spot straight up and 11-5 on the run line. And then my last point that I'm going to throw out there from a Rangers perspective is when they're a favorite of minus 200 or higher, they're 24-0 straight up. So Rangers are putting bat the ball, as we know. There's certainly a number of guys on that offense that perform. And the guy that I'm going to go to is kind of in a similar situation with his batting order. So I'm going to Nate Lowe, Nathaniel Lowe at plus 200. It's a guy that I love to play because you're getting 2-1 your money on this guy. And he's getting 1 every 2, 1 every 3 opportunities at bat that he's going out there. Not only that, but let's look at who's in front of him as well. He's got Simeon in front of him. We know is a beast. He's got Seager in front of him. We know is a beast. In fact, Seager is probably one of the most bet on guys across the dashboard today. I've seen Jung out there, bet on guy. Aldis Garcia, we had him on Friday as our RBI play of the day. He came through for us. And then here comes Nate Lowe in the 5 spot with guys that are capable of getting on base. Boyd, who's at a 5.37 ERA and trending in the wrong direction, going 247 against lefties. I just felt like there's a good opportunity here. Lowe gets on bases. It will be his on base percentage is 0.366. So he's getting on base 1 every, 3rd times at bat, 1 every 3 times at bat, and you're getting 2-1 your money on this situation. So if you do the math, that turns out to profit in the long run every day of the week. So when I see Lowe at plus 200, I want to get my name all over that thing and have that guy put in my.
Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust.
Yeah. I think you're muted, my guy.
Mute, Sharpie.
Oh, man, that would have been a good one, too. But I'll do it again. Why not? I said if she ain't 280, she ain't a lady. But we'll take 200 on this show, boy. Quick little recap, guys, for those that are just showing up for the bets in the timestamp for Ribeyes with Mike. He's going to start the day off with the kid himself, Jonathan India, for the Cincinnati Reds, plus 155 RBI steak dinner on him. Then we're going to head on over, guys, and talk about Sonny Gray versus Spencer Strider. And we're going to pick on some Sonny not so gray from yesterday, guys. We're going to take Austin Riley's RBI plus 142. And he's got some monsters that are going to be sitting out there with ducks on the pond for that dude to drive in. Then we're going to finish up the day, guys, with a plus 200 spot on Nathaniel Lowe of the Texas Rangers versus Matthew Boyd of the Tigers. And that's how Mike is going to get in to win today. Appreciate you, Mike. Let's fucking eat today. As you know, I'm going to make me a ticket with all my guys, and I'm going to add your guys into it, guys, and see if we can hit this lotto on this Monday. Want to tell these fellas where they can find you and what you got going on?
Yeah, you can see my Twitter handle out there, y'all. You can know where to get me, see what's going on here. I'm here to support my guy Sharpie. He called me in today and said, hey, we got an opening. You want to come in here and talk some numbers? I don't care if there's 3 games, 5 games, 6 games, or 16 games on the card. In fact, I prefer him in this situation because it gives us an opportunity to really scrub without the pressure and anxiety that goes into a 16-game card that's out there with games starting at noon and going at 1 and going at 3. So I'm here to support you, Sharpie. Shout out to the chat and all you guys that are out there coming on here to support my guy. Make sure you hit that like button and let's get that cash. Fuck them bookies.
Right in the eye hole, guys. If you're not following Mike, guys, at Pimp Slap pot of the day, guys, you're really just losing money. He's a guy who's honest as they come. He tracks everything. He bets every play he puts out. And he really just wants you to make some fucking money, guys. Like, realistically, that's all he wants. We're going to hit a quick commercial, come right back into the last 3 pitchers that we're going to cover on today's episode of The Balking Dead. Welcome to another edition of The Balking Dead.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of EPL on
Class is in session, hitting the books on Pub Sports.
This is another exciting edition of the main event on Talking Man.
Welcome back, guys, to The Balking Dead. As we started the day talking Verlander, Strider, and Heaney, and we just finished with Ribeyes with Mike. Now we're going to cover the last 3 pitchers on our slate today, starting with number 1 in the Black Book last year, number 10 this year, Dylan Cease at the Angels. This year has a 27% strikeout percentage and a 10 walk percentage. Opened him up on FanDuel, 7+ minus 138, where PrizePicks has him at a flat 7. Pitching outs under over are at a flat 17 on PrizePicks. Projected lineup today is 5 lefties, 4 righties for your Halos. This year he's got a 9.4 K per 9 at home with a 12.1 on the road. Granted, 36 innings at home compared to 50 on the road. Lefties, he's striking out at an 8.8 K per 9, while righties, he has an elite 12.3. Now we get Dylan Cease at the Angels, where over the past few games, guys, it looks like we have 2022 Cease back, and he's been racking up them strikeouts. As we were on him versus my Dodgers, and he surprised the shit out of me when he manhandled those Texas Rangers. Now we look at the Angels' numbers versus right-handed pitchers over the last 15 days. It says they're the best team in baseball, guys, as they're walking 10.3%. They're not striking out at an absurd 18%. And the number 1 team in batting average, OPS, and isolated power in that time span. So let's see, who have they actually seen in that time span? Well, they've seen Logan Gilbert, guys, who did get cracked. He didn't go longer than 3 innings. The 2 games before that, though, Luis Castillo had a 10-pack, and Brian Wu himself had 7 in just 4.2 innings of work. But Wu and Castillo did not fall into the numbers of the last 15 days. The only other person worth mentioning, guys, is Nathan Eovaldi, who had himself 9 strikeouts in 7 innings of work. So, yeah, the numbers say no, but those numbers are versus a bunch of middle-of-the-pack to end of the rotation type of guys. That's not what Cease is. If we look at the 1 game he did see these Angels last year, the numbers didn't say much, as they were walking, not really striking out, but they weren't really hitting the ball, so the numbers could project him to be out there long, and that's what he was. 7 innings, and he racked up 11 strikeouts in that time span. Now, when I run a K-prop versus the Angels, guys, I've looked for 2 things, and I don't give a rat's ass about these numbers when I look at that. And I need an elite strikeout percentage and an elite walk percentage. And with Cease, we get one of those. We have an elite strikeout percentage, but he's worse than league average when it comes to walking people. But in the last 3 weeks, Cease has faced 2 teams with a higher walk percentage than these Angels are bringing into this game today, and the Mariners and the Rangers. And he only had 2 walks a game. So it seems like he's found his groove. He seems like he's found his release point. And Cease is humming, so I'm going to hum, guys. Now, due to past history, and the fact is, I got to temper my expectations on him. So I did go half unit on Cease over 6.5 at -128. I cannot go a full unit, guys, because he doesn't meet my requirements to run a K prop versus the Angels. That is an elite strikeout and walk percentage. Yes, he has one of them, and I'm willing to put a half unit saying that it seems like he's fixed his walk issues. As like I said, over the last 2 of the last 3 games, he's faced teams with an 11.5 walk percentage or better, and he only walked 2 in those games, guys. So Dylan Cease is bet the fuck on right now, and he will get a half unit of my money. Now let's talk the other side of this right quick. We got Reid Detmers versus the White Sox, number 69 in the black book. He has a 28.2 strikeout percentage on the year with a 9.1 walk percentage. Opened him up last night at 6+ -152. He's now at that plus money to that over 6.5. PrizePicks has him at a flat 6, whereas pitching outs under over are at 17.5. Projected lineup is 5 righties, 4 lefties, whereas K per 9 this season is 12.1 at home where he's at today, 9.5 on the road with a 9K per 9 versus the left-handed side and an elite 11.4 versus the right-handed side. Now we get a spot, guys, where it wasn't taxed the whole strikeout. They just flat out put the fucking juice on this thing, guys. And I knew it was going to move to 6.5 at plus money by the morning. And that's pretty much what we get now, where we got a nice spot, guys, where Detmer's in at today, meaning teams with a K percentage of 24 or worse. And the White Sox over the last 200 plate appearances versus left-handed pitching, they have been bad to say the least. They're not walking at a putrid 3.6%. They're bottom 5 in team batting average and OPS and 19th in isolated power, while also striking out at a 28.5% clip. Now, this year, guys, when we run Detmers, guys, it's been simple. It's K percentages of 24% or worse. And he's done the damn thing for us. As Detmers versus a K percentage of 24 or worse is 5-0 to his over on his K prop, averaging 7.8 strikeouts a game. And his prop, guys, was at 5.5 -150 for the most part of the night. And he has a 70% win rate to that in his last 10 games, where it moved to the 6.5, where he does still have a 50% win rate over his last 10. So why didn't it open at a 6.5 is the question, guys. Well, at the beginning of the year, when facing these teams of a K percentage of 24 or worse, guys, he was at a bettable 5.5. And he's only been a 6.5 2 times this year, where he happened to actually blow through the walls the 2 times they set him at that number. So when I go back and look at who have the White Sox faced in the span of these numbers, and we got a few of our boys in that span. James Paxton, he had 3 strikeouts in 4 innings with 63 pitches of work before coming out due to some type of injury. Andrew Heaney, a guy who I don't even really look to bet on, guys, because he just hasn't been the Heaney of last year. He went 5 innings, 2 earned runs while striking out 6. Kershaw, he went 6 innings, 2 earned runs with 5 strikeouts, while Braxton Garrett put his nuts on their chin and went 5.1 and racked up 9. So now that we've seen who they face, the 5.5s actually don't seem too far-fetched. That even with the injury to Paxton, guys, Garrett is the only one to hit the over 6.5. Now, it's still either over or nothing, guys. But I like to talk wiggle room on this show, and the wiggle room was there at the 5.5, guys, as there is only 1.3 strikeouts of wiggle room on that 6.5. But like I said, it is still over or nothing. I will need the lineups to make a call on the 6.5 myself. But like I said with Strider, I do have that alt parlay in where Strider's at 9+, Detmer's at 5+ for a half unit at -114. So make sure you do have them Twitter notification bells on, as I will tweet out any other action I do put in on Verlander or Detmers once those lineups do come out. Let's talk the last guy on the board today. That's La Pareda Day, guys. Luis Castillo versus the Nationals. Number 39 in the black book this year has a 28.6 strikeout percentage and a 7.6 walk percentage. Open them up on FanDuel 7+ -130, where PrizePicks has them at a flat 6. Under over hits allowed on PrizePicks was at 5. Projected lineup today for your Nats is 5 righties, 4 lefties. K per 9 this season. He has an 11.3 K per 9 at home with a 9 K per 9 on the road. He is at home today. Granted, he does have 53 innings at home compared to 34 on the road, but he is an elite type guy, as you can tell what he does versus lefties, and righties, as he has a same 10.4 K per 9. We're going to end the day, guys, the same way we started, talking taxes. These books have put on these pitchers today. They even taxed us on La Pareda Day, guys, versus a team ain't winning a lot. That's if you're betting overs on K props from the right-handed side. These are some pesky group of Nationals, guys, who by the numbers say fuck off and die when running a K prop, as their numbers over the last 15 days versus right-handed pitchers is the only bad thing they're doing. I mean, granted, they're not the best hitting team, but they're not as bad as they used to be. They are walking at a putrid 3.7%. They are not striking out at a league best 14%. 8th through 13th in every hitting category that I like to look at. Well, who have they seen in that span? Well, the guys I would bet on, guys, how about Hunter Brown? He went 7 innings, but he only had 4 strikeouts. Sandy Alcantara, he went 5.1 innings. He only had 1 strikeout. And if we go even farther back, guys, to the beginning of the month, they stymied Wheeler too, guys. So he didn't even make it to the 4th inning in that game. Since the beginning of the month, guys, those are the pitchers I would put my money on. And the Nats have, they've seen 3 solid freaking dudes, guys. And I get they got to Wheeler and Alcantara. They're in the same division. They see each other a bunch, blah, blah, blah. I don't care, guys. Good pitching beats good hitting. And this has not been one of the better hitting teams of the league. Now, what they have been is one of the better teams at not striking out and making contact. The fact is, though, 3.7 walk percent makes La Pareda alive, guys. And the fact that the books added on 40 to 50 cents in juice on Castillo, when this should be 6.5 at plus money, guys, as he only has a 40% win percentage to this in his last 10. And we got a team who doesn't strike out, where 3 of our studs didn't hit an oververse. And they're telling you, please bet the under here, guys. So, at the end of the day, it's a cool, easy pass for me right here, guys. I get it. Numbers aren't everything, just the Nationals. They're one pesky group of bitches, guys, and I don't understand why they added juice onto him in that spot. So it's just a cool clear off and stay off for me. If you guys are showing up for the recap, do me a favor and smash the algorithm, smash the like button. It does help the algorithms a lot. Today on The Balking Dead, we had a theme of the day, and the theme was let's tax the fuck out of these overs on K-props today. Starting off with Justin Verlander, where they added on 2 strikeouts, so I ended up taking his over 18.5 outs at plus money, but also don't think the game may go, guys, due to rain being in the forecast. We do get to talk Spencer Strider, where they did the same thing as well, guys. They jumped him up 1 strikeout and put him at a 9.5. As my rules are my rules, and I do not chase no one or any spot. So I have a half unit alt parlay with Strider down to 9+, and I hooked him to Detmers at 5+. I'm also waiting for the lineup to decide if I'm going to take Detmers for a straight bet on his 6.5 as well. So make sure you do have them Twitter notification bells on, because I'm also looking at an alt parlay by taking Verlander down if they give me the lefties that I'm looking for. We did talk some Heaney and Castillo, where they added not 1, but 2 strikeouts to Andrew Heaney, where the numbers said hell no and run. So that's just an easy stay off for me. But for some way, the books are begging you to bet the under on Andrew Heaney today. And then we talked Castillo, guys, where they also added on some juice to him in a spot where the numbers say fuck no. So it's just an easy stay off for me. But with Heaney and with Castillo, they are actually asking you to bet the under. They're begging you to bet Heaney's under. They're asking you to bet Castillo's under. Sharpie don't do what the books want. I bet people's averages and when they're going to blow through it. We now have timestamps for those that are busy, guys. We will at worst have the 2 recaps with the hitting and pitching prop bets that day. At best, I will put a timestamp next to every pitcher or hitting segment we have. As you already know, guys, this show is sponsored by PrizePicks. If you haven't, go on over there, use that promo code PubSports, get a match deposit up to $100, minimum of $25 on your first deposit. This show is produced by Big Show Picks on Pub Sports Radio with special guests today, Pimp Slap Play of the Day, Ribeyes with Mike. Some say we be pubbing. I say pubbing we be. Or not. Let's
Keep firing, assholes!